Obsidian usually forces you to move files into your vault just to work with them. That ends today. I'm going to show you how to virtually mount a hidden system folder, a media library, or remote sync folder directly into your sidebar without moving a single file into your vault. Obsidian Folder Bridge is a community plugin that extends Obsidian's single root vault by letting you mount external folders as seamless, native-feeling directories inside your Obsidian vault. Files stay in their original locations, so no copying, no duplication, and no symlinking. The problem that this community plugin solves is that Obsidian is sandboxed to your vault, so any folder outside of your Obsidian vault is not visible. Also, if you have any hidden dot folders inside your vault, then they are also not visible. So one of the most common ones is the .claude folder. So anyone using AI tools or Claude code would usually have a .claude folder inside of their Obsidian vault. So by default, Obsidian won't show this. The same goes for your .obsidian folder. And you can see here I've got two ST folders for syncthing that are also not shown, as well as my trash and st ignore file. So to get around that, what I can do is I can set up a virtual mount point for Claude here, and that's what I've done up the top here. Usually what I would do is I'd go into VS Code, open up my .claude folder, and then make changes to, say, my commands inside of the commands folder, then jump back into Obsidian. But with Folder Bridge, what I can do is create a virtual mount point, then I have access to my commands, and I can bring up my fix idea and make a change to it on the fly. I can also search, so I could Control O, type in fix, and bring up another one of my commands that I want to make a change to, or I could just review it inside of Obsidian. So that is super useful. Another thing you can do is if you don't want to open up another Obsidian vault, you can actually import it as a virtual mount point. So you can see I've got my new discovery vault here, and that is also searchable. So I can type in start here and bring up the start here file from that vault. So if you don't want to open up another Obsidian vault, you can just attach it as a virtual mount point. Something else that I've found really useful is when you don't want to sync your whole Obsidian vault, you might have a Google Drive where you've got a folder called remote sync, like I do here. And I've simply got 3 files in there, and I might want to share these across multiple Obsidian vaults, but I don't want to set up syncthing or sync all my private files. So what I do is I mount it as a virtual mount point like here, and then I have access to those files in all of my Obsidian vaults. So another use case is if you have a media vault like I do here with, say, all your sci-fi movies, then you might want to attach the movie files. So you can see over here I've got the matrix. So if we open up the matrix, you can see if I can expand the right pane, you can see down the bottom here I have media file. Then I've got a .mp4 file, which is the 1080p Blu-ray. And then we can see the movie has been embedded here. So I can preview that movie inside of Obsidian. So that could be quite useful. And all I need to do is create a folder bridge to my sci-fi folder, and then I have all my movies in there, and you can see I've got the Matrix trilogy down here, and I can open up and you can see that there's the MP4 file that is just living on my media server, and I've linked it inside of Obsidian so that I can access the movie inside of Obsidian. So that could be something useful if you collect movies or music, or you've got references to PDFs such as magazines or books. So let's have a quick look at the folder bridge settings. So to do that, we'll go down to our settings, scroll down and select folder bridge. Now, the first thing you'll see is a sync warning. So if you use Obsidian Sync or syncthing, you must add the virtual folder name to your sync ignore list. So for syncthing, this is the .st ignore file. Otherwise, your sync engine will try to upload the entire contents of your mounted folders. So you just need to do that on the fly so that it doesn't sync those up to your syncthing or Obsidian Sync. You can see you've got an option as a dry run, Also got notifications on or off. So when you open Obsidian, you'll see a status on the mounts that are being added. So you can turn that off by flicking the switch here. So what should happen when you delete a mounted folder? Ask every time. That's the default. You can select unmount only or delete permanently. I just leave it as ask me every time. You can allow foreign mounts. By default, this is off. You can cap the image PDF size cap. By default, it's set to 10. Every folder has an ignore pattern. So by default, globally, it will ignore your .ds if you're on a Mac, or your thumbs.db, desktop.ini, or .git file. If you want to add any more, you do that here by hitting add. By default, the data.json file inside the plugin directory is where it stores all the virtual mounts information. So if you want to put it somewhere else, like I have here, I've put it inside of my toolkit under folderbridge.manage.json, then you can set another path for it. That's good if you don't want to sync your plugin folders and you want to have it outside of your .obsidian folder. And finally, down the bottom, you can see all the mount points that I have set up. Got my new discovery vault, which is an external vault, and I've also got my remote sync Google Drive folder. And I can turn these off at any time with a switch, remove them, edit them, or lock them to be read-only. So if you don't want to make changes to any of those, you can just make them read-only, which is super handy. So in the next part of the video, I'll show you how to install this community plugin. Before we go ahead and install the Folder Bridge community plugin, I just wanted to do a shout out to Digital Bioki, who shared and showcased this community plugin on the Obsidian forum. If we scroll down, we can see that Folder Bridge is currently pending review for the official community plugin directory. So if you can't see it in the community plugins directory, then what we can do is install it with the BRAT plugin. So to do that, all we need to do is highlight the GitHub URL here and copy. Then we'll jump into Obsidian, go down to our settings, navigate to Community Plugins, select Browse. Ensure that you've got the BRAT community plugin installed and select Options. Scroll down and select Add Beta Plugin. Paste the URL that you just copied and select the latest version. Then you simply just need to hit Add Plugin. Then you'll be presented with the Welcome to Folder Bridge modal form. So we want to add our first mount. So we'll go ahead and do that. So the first thing we need to do is choose the real path. So I'm going to hit Browse and navigate to my Obsidian Vault and select the .claude folder. This mount type is going to be my local file system. I'll leave everything else default and then I'll select Validate and Add. Now this folder is already being synced by SyncThing, so I don't need to worry about adding it to the st_ignore file in this first example. So we're still in the BRAT plugin here. So what we need to do is scroll down and find the Folder Bridge community plugin. So once we're in there, we'll scroll down and we're going to leave our global ignore patterns on the default. If you did want to exclude anything in the .claude folder, then you can browse and select what you don't want to show. You might not want to show the changelog here, so we can select that one, and now the changelog is gone. And if you want to bring it back, you can just hit remove and it will come back next time you refresh. So the next thing I would recommend you do is set a TOC file location. So you can see here, this is suggesting that I put it in my parent vault directory, and this is where it's going to store all the information about my mounts. So I like to keep everything tidy. So I'm going to put it in my toolkit, which is this one here. So I just need to hit the set button. That's going to go set the settings for this plugin inside of my toolkit. And this is handy when you're not syncing the plugins folders across multiple vaults. So if we scroll down, we want to add our next mount point. So I'll just hit the add mount point button. This time I'm going to choose another Obsidian vault and I will go up to browse. And I'm just going to come into my projects folder and select my new discovery vault, which I made a video about a few weeks ago. So we'll select that one, keep everything else default and select validate and add. We can see we've got a few statuses up the top right there. So now I've got my two mount points. I've got my new Discovery Vault and my .claude folder, and I can turn those on or off at any time. And I can also lock them down or remove them. So the next thing I want to do is I want to add a remote sync folder, which is attached to my Google Drive. So I'm going to add this remote sync here. So I'll select add mount point, and it's going to be on my local file system because I'm using Google Drive. And I'll select browse, and I'm just going to select my Google iDrive. And then I'll choose the My Drive Obsidian Remote Sync folder, select that folder, browse down and select validate and add. So now I have my remote sync folder, which is writable. So let's close that and have a look. So we can see here we've got my attached new Discovery Vault, and I've also got my remote sync here with my remote files. So it's just worth mentioning that Obsidian can only natively render Markdown and PDF files, as well as images, audio, and video. So anything outside of that, like a Microsoft Word, Excel, or PowerPoint, or code files, will not show up in the File Explorer. So that is one limitation to be mindful of. As you start adding more folder mounts, you might notice that on the left-hand side, it starts becoming a little bit untidy. So what I would recommend doing is right-clicking and creating a new folder called 7 mounts. I'm going to right-click, change icon, and use a hard drive. And then what you can do is you can right-click your mount and use the Move Mount to. We'll do that for the new Discovery Vault. I'm going to type in 7 and choose my new folder location. So now you can see I've moved my first mount there. You can also left-click and drag and add it in there. And now my remote sync is in the 7 mounts folder. And that way, all I need to do is set up my st-ignore sync thing file to exclude the 7 mounts folder, and it's going to exclude everything that's inside of that parent folder. So that's going to be a little bit tidier. I'll leave the Claude one out. I could also put that down there as well, but I think it's fine up the top there. Another thing you can do is if you find you've got lots of files, so if I had a lot of files in this new Discovery Vault here, I can click Edit, scroll all the way down, reveal the advanced settings, scroll all the way down, and limit the amount of files that are being scanned. So that could be something worth considering if you're finding you're running into latency issues by adding multiple mounts. FolderBridge checks all your active mounts every 30 seconds in the background. So that's it for today's video. I just wanted to say a quick shout out to all my Ko-Fi supporters and members. Thank you for your support. Let me know in the comments if this community plugin is going to solve any problems that you are having mounting external folders. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.